Hi dudes, Climax 4 explain here. Before we launch, subscribe now because spoilers ahead. Today I will demonstrate to you a 2017 Korean realistic melodrama film named Mothers. The film starts with a woman called Hyejin who called her mother when the teaching time was over. She has a place for learning advice but students are not so much. She organizes that place with her friend, Miran, who is presently pregnant. After returning from teaching, Miran argued to Hyejin because her stomach was bigger and heavier to carry everywhere. Then, Miran also urged Hyejin to pay more attention to her health. Lately, Hyejin often looks exhausted. She has not fully recovered from the death of her husband who died about 2 years ago. Not lengthy after, Hyejin was seen chatting with a man at a cafe. She said the man what her living conditions were like. It turned out that the man was a graduate student who was studying counseling. But in the middle of the conversation, Hyejin's mom called her and worried about her illness. Hearing this, Hyejin strived to calm her down. The following day, Hyejin was looking around the place. She was planning to move her tutoring place to a better place, but she still hesitated to buy it because she wasn't sure if she would proceed with her work. In the middle of a conversation with the seller, unexpectedly Hyejin was called by her husband's relative's uncle and she was asked to meet him at a cafe. While at the cafe, the uncle asks for permission to look after Wook, the son from her husband's prior marriage. Formerly, Wook was cared for and raised by his grandmother. But at this moment, his grandmother was diagnosed with dementia and Wook had to be entrusted. Uncle also clarified that this child is good and does not like to cause trouble. Hearing this, Hyejin asked why he didn't just take care of his uncle. The uncle also tells that their family's economic condition is not good so they can't take care of Wook. Hyejin, who was amazed, could only stay silent and try to think about it. After a while, Hyejin travels to the home of Wook, the child to be raised. But when she got there, Hyejin did not find Wook and only met a girl who was a close buddy of Wook. Later, the girl tells her that Wook left and doesn't know where. Then, Hyejin also gave her phone number and asked the girl to call her if she got any news about Wook. The following day, at the tutoring location, Miran was talking to a man who wanted to buy the place. Then, she called Hyejin who was taking care of Wook's school transfer. That's the eternity when Hyejin and Wook first met. Long story short, Hyejin picked up Wook at the station to take him home. In the darkness, Hyejin talks to Wook who is dreaming. She gives some rules that Wook must obey at home. Knowing Wook's presence at Hyejin's house, her mom scolded her. Not accepting always being scolded, Hyejin barely vented her frustration and made her mother leave the place. In the twilight, during dinner jointly, Hyejin offers Wook to go to the library down the road if he wants to study. However, Wook rather borrowed money to meet his grandmother. Hyejin also authorized it and gave him some money. The following day, Wook goes with his friend Mi. Instead of going to their grandmother's place, they looked like they were peeking for someone but couldn't find it. Because it was late at night, they determined to stay at a hotel. Not getting news from Wook made Hyejin nervous and reported Wook's disappearance to the police station. On the other hand, with the money running low, Wook and Mi are seen at the church. Mi, who saw Wook sleeping, took Wook's phone and called Hyejin to say her their location. Reaching home, Hyejin scolded Wook. But Wook just kept quiet and went to his room. The following day, Hyejin visited Miran's house. There Hyejin tells about Wook who is very different from other children. In the twilight, Hyejin walks up to Wook and asks if Mi is his girlfriend. Hyejin thought they were going on a date, even though Mi only came to attend and help Wook find someone. While at the salon, Hyejin accidentally saw Wook allocating flyers. She was confused by what Wook was doing. Eventually, Hyejin called Mi. It turns out that all this time Wook was peeking for his biological mother. He kept looking for his mother but he couldn't find her. The following day, Hyejin came to the hospital to ask some questions about Wook's grandmother's child or Wook's biological mother. Nonetheless, the hospital said that the grandmother had no daughter because she had been dead for a lengthy time. On the other hand, Wook is seen supporting his grandmother at the orphanage. Hyejin also came to see grandmother while picking up Wook. On the way home, Hyejin inquired Wook if he was looking for his mother, but Wook was silent. The scene switches to Miran's house, where Hyejin says that Wook's mother is still alive. Hearing this, Miran was surprised because she only knew that Wook's biological mother had died. There, Hyejin began to be interested and doubtful about her husband. On the other hand, Wook accepts a message from Mi saying that Mi is in trouble because she has slept with a man and is pregnant. Eternities later, at the station, Mi hugs Wook as a sign of their farewell. Mi will be raised by a family who will be the mother and father of the child she is carrying. Nonetheless, Mi tells Wook that she will be living with her aunt. Elsewhere, Hyejin is seen selling her car because she requires money. But she asked for a week to hand over the car, because she is going on a trip to find Wook's mammy in the village. Then, Hyejin and Wook went to look for his mother in all possible villages where Wook's biological mother was. On the way, she inquired a merchant about the address of the person in the photo she was holding. Realizing familiar with the person in the photo, the merchant inquired her to come to the house next to the temple. Shortly, Hyejin came to that place and saw a woman there. There, Hyejin went downstairs and discussed with the woman. Hyejin said that her husband died many years ago and asked the woman why she left Wook. From their discussion, we learned that the woman was not Wook's biological mother. The woman clarifies that she has taken care of Wook since childhood but she got sick. She doesn't want to hurt Wook because of her illness. Hearing that justification, Hyejin asked the woman to claim to be Wook's biological mother. After Hyejin returned to the car, Wook went to the toilet and met the woman. At the hotel, Wook says that he knows that the woman is not his mother. He also knew that his mother had long since died. Wook just wants to know why that woman left him as a child. Since then, Hyejin's relationship with Wook has grown closer. The following day, Wook and Mi go to the hospital with their aunt to check on Mi's child's condition. After the examination, the aunt was very happy when she saw the motion of the child in Mi's stomach. Reaching the aunt's house, Wook overhears that Mi is going to sell her child to the aunt. Hearing this makes Wook leave Mi. Then, Mi followed him and told him that this was the right conclusion for the continuation of her child's life to become more viable. On the other hand, Hyejin, who was cleaning, saw the ultrasound photo on Wook's desk. He was shocked and asked Wook. At that moment, Wook admitted that the child was his. Hearing this, Hyejin was annoyed but Wook instantly closed the door to his room. The following day at a cafe, Mi and Wook discuss the baby Mi is carrying. Mi also tells Hyejin that Wook is not the father of Mi's child. At night in the park, the dreamy Wook is addressed by Hyejin and they talk to each other. Then, Wook asked why Hyejin wanted to live with him. Hyejin answers that to decide something, we have to sacrifice something. So whatever conclusion is made, something has to be let go of. Hearing that, Wook fell silent. The following day, Hyejin's mother came to her house and talked there. When Wook came home from school, Hyejin's mammy gave him money and smiled at him. Hyejin's mammy has accepted Wook and is no longer holding grudges. In the twilight, Hyejin and Wook commemorate the anniversary of Wook's father's death with his favorite chocolate cake and soup. This is the first moment Hyejin has commemorated it again after years of not celebrating it for fear of remembering past memories. She also told Wook about her past when she was with her husband. Eventually later, Wook visits Mi, who gave birth at the hospital. He asks Mi if she doesn't want to see her son just once. Mi says no and clarifies that she has given the baby a nice family gift. In the nursery, the aunt who adopted baby Mi looks happy to see her baby. Wook moves toward her and smiles at them. At the climax of the movie, Wook, who is still curious, returns to the residence of the woman he met. There the woman told how much she missed Wook and cuddled him while crying. The woman also admits guilt for leaving Wook as a child. In that hug, Wook screams sadly. In the depth of hugs and tears. And that's it. Like and subscribe may be easy for you, but for us, it's extremely valuable. So thank you so much for your support.